Welcome to Likras again. We're back. We're working on this week's Parshas Mishpatim. This week's Torah reading is Mishpatim. We're working only on the beginning of the Parsha. We're working, in fact, only on the first verse. We're working, in fact, only on the beginning of the first verse. The very beginning, there's an introduction to this Parsha. The Torah says the first two words, Ve'ele Hamishpatim, two words. These are the laws. This is intro. In Pshat, you're allowed to have an introduction. So the laws are introduced with two words, these, and let's be even more specific. Ve'ele mishpatim, and these are the laws. It's two words in Hebrew, I have to make it three words in English, and these are the laws. Ve'ele mishpatim. You don't really need an introduction. You could start with the laws. It's very easy when you're told, do this, don't do that they're laws. So why is there an introduction? Rashi, the primary commentator on the Torah, is working on this, on the introduction, on these two words. What does it mean? Why is there an introduction here? What's the relevance and significance of Ve'ele Mishpatim, and these are the laws? Rashi says, he's quoting from Chazal, Ve'ele Mosif al Rishonim. Whenever we have the word these, there's two ways the word these in the Torah appears. Either it's Eila or it's Ve'ele. Either it's these are, or it's and these are. What's the difference between whether it says these are or and these are? The difference is, if it says these are without the and, that means something now is being said against what was said before. If there is and these in our circumstance, it says, the Torah says, Ve'ele mishpatim, and these are the laws. The word and makes it that we're adding on to what was said previously. What was said previously plus. That's what it means, and these. What does it affect us here? How is this relevant? Explains Rashi. He continues. Maor Vashemesh Sinai af elu Sinai. He says, this is to tell you, last week was Parshas Yisrael, was the Ten Commandments at Har Sinai. So too this Parsha, Ve'ele Mishpatim, when it gives laws, it doesn't say geographic locations, also at Sinai. Adds Rashi more information. Why is it that this laws is discussed after what was discussed previously, the laws about the sacrificial altar, the Mizbeach, Shetasim Sanhedrin Eitzel Hamikdash, to tell you that the Sanhedrin is located inside the temple next to the Mizbeach. Now, if you were to look at a diagram of the temple, the first temple, the second temple, and the third temple that should be there on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, you will find that there's a central area for sacrifice there. There's animal sacrifice there. There's the famous Aron Kodesh there with the Ten Commandments tablet form, the second tablets. The broken first tablets. The Sefer Torah that Moshe Rabbeinu wrote, the first Torah scroll, and also, this is always classically inside the Aron Kodesh, and also next to is a room. That room's for the Sanhedrin. It's called the Yun Rock Room. It's that room, the Sanhedrin is next to the Mizbeach. It's inside the Bais Hamikdash compound. So that's what we get. The laws are from Sinai, and the Sanhedrin, the legal authority of the Jewish people, meets in a room near the Mizbeach, near this altar, inside the temple compound. That's what Rashi says. Now we're going to start the Maor Vashemesh, see what he does over here. Ve'ele mishpatim Pirish Rashi, and he quotes the Rashi, like we already learned the Rashi. Hine teretz shel Rashi zal k'tzatz tamua. Says, I really have difficulty understanding what Rashi's answering. Hom befurish b'Torah pam achas Parshas Bar Sinai Pirish Rashi sham manyan shmita l'tzar Sinai. Really, we have the very similar idea, the first idea, that the laws are from Sinai, we learn later in the Torah. Parshas Bahar. There, in Bamidbar Parshas Bahar, it says, Ad Har Sinai. There, Rashi's also asking, why does it say Ad Har Sinai? It says, because the laws of Shemitah, the 7th year where agriculture does not take place, are discussed in detail, so too were the details of every mitzvah given at Har Sinai. That's where it's emphasized in Parshas Bahar, the idea of Har Sinai. So if we see that the laws there, Shemitah, an example of the laws, the agricultural laws, so too every law was discussed fully at Sinai, so we already have that idea. So we don't need that over here again. It means we have doubles of the same idea. That all laws are from Sinai, we learn in Parshas Bahar, and we learn also here in Parshas Mishpatim. And if we're clever Jewish people, we should be able to figure out one time, we shouldn't need two times. So why do we have to learn it here? And why do we have to learn it here from this extra vav? And there it had much more information. It said explicitly to Mount Sinai. And the Or Chaim HaKodesh already asked this question, and we'll leave his answer aside. What's it coming to say an extra idea? Rashi says, since it says ve'ela and these, it's coming to say an extra idea. There's a plus. You're getting something extra. If it's just coming to say the laws are also at Sinai, like we saw Har Sinai discussed by the Ten Commandments, so it's not really extra. It's that these laws are at Har Sinai. The second idea that Rashi says, that the high court of Judaism, the Sanhedrin, is located near the Mizbeach. Sometimes they're not there. So what's the idea to tell us it's their primary location there? What's it have to do with what we're discussing here? Answer. Now we're going to do the answer of the Maor Vashemesh on his questions. That is to say, we see that last week when we learned about the Ten Commandments of Parshas Yisrael, it was very scary. It was exciting. There was a lot of noise. There was smoke. It was a scary thing. We learn from that all the time. Our Talmud Torah, when we study Torah, should be like the Sinai experience of the Ten Commandments, and it should be scary. It should be serious. It should be alive. Af elu mi Sinai. We have to learn the halachas, all laws, the same way with excitement. Why does it say the second group that the Sanhedrin, the high court of Jewish law, is located near the Mizbeach? To teach you, Mizbeach means the service of Hashem. There it's talking about animal sacrifice. Nowadays we don't have animal sacrifice because we don't have a working temple. But what do we have? We have the prayer service that we do, which is parallel instead of the Korban Talmud, which we're not able to offer today. It's really easier between the two activities that we have today of prayer and of Torah. It's easier to get excited about prayer. It's easier to take that very seriously. Okay, Rabbi Rashi, the Sanhedrin eitz mizbech. That's why it says the Sanhedrin should be next to the Mizbech. It's not talking about the physical location of the Sanhedrin. It's talking about us when we learn Torah. Our study of Torah should be with excitement. So it's like the Mizbech. We have to take Torah seriously. It has to be exciting for us. It has to be alive for us. And if we do that, we can make our tefillah alive, which is easier, and then harder. We can make our Torah alive as well. That's the remez, and that's something extra that's being taught here Bais Hamikdash. And these, to add these laws connected back to Har Sinai, is these two aspects. Our prayer should be serious, which is relatively easier to do, and we have to take our learning Torah seriously. If we do those two things, we have the proper slavas, then we're getting the idea, getting the excitement into our Judaism, into our Torah, into our prayer. And if we do that right, so that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's Ve'ela HaMishpatim.